We all know this story, or at least we heard about it. There once was a girl named Dorothy who wore ruby slippers, fell into a strange land via tornado, and followed a yellow brick road. All along the way, she meets beings that later became her friends. A Scarecrow, the one without a brain, Tin Man, the one without a heart, and the Lion, the one who lacks courage. They journey through to reach the Emerald City, but come across obstacles and an enemy to defeat along the way. They eventually defeat the enemy, and the wizard gives her friends what they lack. It ends with a victory, the fall of the Wicked Witch, friends with a brain, a heart, and courage, and Dorothy back home to the land that she knows. I give the background of the Wizard of Oz because I came across a very interesting article. The background provides context. The article is called What the Wizard of Oz Can Teach Us About Social Media by Louis Borba. It is located on a website called Medium, and it seems to be a place for articles and blog posts to give writers a voice. When I came across this article, I was a little shocked I hadn't thought of it at first, because I'm a very big fan of The Wizard of Oz, and I also found this very fitting for my digital rhetoric class, in particular this assignment. The article introduces 3 elements: the Scarecrow, with the need of a brain, the Tin Man with the need of a heart, and the Lion with the need of courage. This author gives us details on how social media requires brain, heart, and courage. It also includes the wizard as a symbol for social media engagement and all elements being a catalyst for a journey. The author goes into a brief explanation, but I would like to take a deep dive into analysis of this concept and see where particular uses of specific social media can take us with these concepts. Let's begin with the Scarecrow. The author tells us that everyone is capable of social media and it will evolve with you, and through your own insight, this is how social media becomes influential. The Scarecrow lacks a brain because it was not built with one, much like social media. The brain isn't the social media, but the person using it. We as people allow a product to evolve as we evolve as people. For example, Facebook started as a dating app at a university, Harvard, but evolved as people gravitated towards it and used the social media product to become what it is today, which is an app to connect and converse with friends and family. Sometimes argue. Twitter is another example. Twitter was something that was heard of but not really used. Now, as we have evolved, instead of saying how our day was in very little characters, we create thread posts into a journey of our day. Instead of saying or we use it to hold influential people accountable for their actions. Like my friend would say, don't at me. When I was in high school, this was never something we would do or think of. But as we evolve through the use of social media, our actions and applications in social media products have changed and evolved into something we never expected. Much like the Scarecrow, we realized in the end he had the power to use his brain, but just never realized how powerful it would become. We could say the same for ourselves in social media. Facebook and Twitter has become influential by people using products and influencing others through the power of digital connection. Have you ever seen someone write a long Facebook post or a Twitter thread and that just hit you all in your feels? I have. And through the example of the Scarecrow and his brain, we too use our brain and evolve and influence through the power of social media. As we move towards the Tin Man, the article says that social media requires heart. And once you get into it, those rusty joints and hesitations you had will vanish. As we look into As we take a look into other social media applications like Instagram, we see or post heartfelt messages and share stories of pages and information that matters to us. We connect and gather as a community using hashtags through all social media platforms. For example, I might post a series of images of quotes about my education journey and write a message about not giving up and fighting the good fight to achieve my dreams, when in reality I am struggling and to continue forward. But knowing the followers I have might have the same feelings and could benefit from my vulnerable post. I might use the hashtag fight the good fight or girl power or never give up. When I first created an Instagram, I would have never posted something so real or vulnerable. But through the power of heart and social media, my reservations dropped in time. And I found a community of others who had similar struggles, and I found connection through my honesty. I have also seen friends share stories of other postings, sometimes political, partially because they disappear, being that they're stories, or of an organization that they're passionate about in hopes that others will see it and view it and support it as well. Overall, social media requires heart, much like the Tin Man. As we move towards the lion with courage, the article says that businesses are afraid of getting into social media with customer complaints, but believe in your brand's greater good, and these doubts will recede into the forest. Corporate offices can have the courage to respond respectfully to Google reviews instead of burying their heads and ignoring customer complaints. While this is an important aspect of social media, courage in social media can come from many things, such as people on Twitter calling out bullies or calling out a business that did shady things. It can also be viewed as someone finding the courage to speak out, such as the Me Too movement on Twitter. 2 words gave so many women who never had a voice or the courage to speak out without fear or judgment. Also, making a Facebook post. It can take courage to stand up for what you believe in. Ultimately, having courage like the lion did in the end means to post authentically in social media. The courage to stand up, speak out, and let your voice be heard digitally. As we get closer to the wizard, towards the end, the wizard is the use of all platforms, the journey into social media. The article says that having the right social media management tools, like the Ruby Slippers, are important in getting you to deftly down the yellow brick road. That's why it's always important to pack a comfortable pair of shoes. I enjoy this journey through the elements and impact of the social media in our lives. The yellow brick road is a long and windy road, much like social media. Let's be honest, we all took a late night dive into those social media Instagram videos, but the use of all 3 elements, brain, heart, and courage, can help us use social media responsibly. In conclusion, this article doesn't really give us any kind of color other than the image of the characters at the top, much like my book or these brightly colored flowers here. The article itself is not very detailed, but the article itself does give the audience an opportunity to dig deep into what those details really mean in our own lives. The article says that Dorothy thought the wizard was the answer to all her problems, when it was herself all along. Quoting, "She made sense of it herself by using a combination of brains, heart, and courage." We too can apply all 3 of these elements to the use of social media and be digitally literate and be digitally connected and make great use of digital media. I'm Megan Beecham. Thank you.